Get up!
Hi everybody, Constant Consumer, bringing you product reports and item reviews on things you can use in and around your home every single day. Today what we're taking a look at is the Luminesse. This is the airbrush makeup system, and I'll go over the components and the pieces. I'll go over the cosmetics and the other items that you will also receive in your package. Just to let you know, this runs typically about $149. I've seen it as low as $99. You can buy it from the infomercials. You can buy it at HSN. The other shopping channels may carry it as well. I happen to buy it from HSN, which is Home Shopping Network in the United States. And the reason that I do that on more expensive items is because of FlexPay. Basically, you're just paying one payment and your shipping, handling, and tax. And then I know if I don't like the product, I can send it back, and I've really not lost anything but basically the shipping, and that's worth it for me to try for you guys. This one is a keeper though. There's not going back. I love it. I've actually almost come to the decision that liquid foundations and brush on, maybe liquid to powder finish type foundations, I've almost decided that I'm done with those. I'll actually just take my glasses off real quickly so you can see. I'm definitely wearing the product today. What I have on is I have on my own primer. I use Carmine. I have on my own under eye concealer, and I'll just use that off the shelf. I have a Rimmel that I use. There's a CoverGirl that I also like. But then after that, I will go straight for the Luminesse Airbrush system, and I will use that again and again, day after day. This has really become a go-to item for me, and I'll go over the unit itself now. What you're going to get is the air compressor itself. This is the AC adapter, which is going to plug right into your wall, and this is your tube. This is very nice, strong rubber tubing that's going to lead from your compressor to your trigger gun itself. And we'll take a look at the trigger gun now. I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses back on. With the trigger gun itself, this will twist off for cleaning. If you want it to be on, here's your pin right here. You want to always keep that covered while you're using your unit, but you take it off when you clean it. You want to clean this with warm water only, and then this will twist off as well. So basically, when you go to clean this item, this is all you're going to do. Now, you do not have to go through this complete process every time you use it. Really, the only cleaning you do each time you use it is with the cup itself. So we've got this twisted back in here, nice and tight. You could spin it if you wanted to. And this is where your product is going to go. After you use your product, you're going to take a little warm water down in there and just gun it. Just full throttle. Give that complete 100% pressure coming through, and that'll clean it for you. Pulls this little pin. There's a tiny little pin in there. I do not know that you will even be able to see that, but that works as your release valve, bringing the airbrush product onto your face itself. Now let's go over the actual products that you're going to get along with the airbrush system. This is the primer. I don't typically use their primer. There's nothing wrong with their primer. I did use it to test it, and it's just fine. It's a bit of a moisturizing primer, but I have my own primer that I like. I have a couple that I use. I use Carmine. I also use Too Faced, or I will use Benefits. Moving on, the next product is the porcelain. What the porcelain does is sort of give you a bit of that China doll, kind of matte, really pretty airbrushed look. So I like this one. I will actually use this before and once I've got my mascara, my eyeshadow, and my lipstick on, I've got everything on, I'll actually do a second layer of porcelain with this. We'll go on to the eraser. The eraser I like, I use it here, and right around through my eyes. And this works pretty well for doing any covering puffiness and shadowing your eye bags and things like that. This I like a lot. I just happen to be one of those people that has a lot of puffiness under my eyes. The X Out that they have, the X Out works for acne. And I don't really have acne breakouts. I may have a pimple rise up maybe once every other month or something like that, but typically I have pretty clear skin. I keep it very clean. Then you have your blusher that comes with that. The blusher that comes with that is kind of a dusty rose color. It's pretty universal. I don't see any reason at all why anybody couldn't use the blusher that comes with that. One of the interesting things, and I'll talk about it here and then I'll show it in the demo as well, is you blush first. You put your blusher on and then you put everything else on, because what you're trying to create is a natural glow from within with your outward appearance in using the airbrush system. The next product that we have is the airbrush glow. And this is really fun for spring and summer. It's going to give you your natural glow. As we're moving into the fall and winter, I'll use more of the porcelain. And then we come into the shades. And in the shades, that's where I will probably be able to demonstrate the actual settling. With the product itself, it's going to settle. And if you see that, and you're looking at that and you're kind of like, ugh, don't do that. Don't worry about it. You just shake it up. It's meant to do that. That's normal. That's the way it's supposed to look. Once you get that shaken up, it's just a couple of shakes. Then you're going to go in to your measuring cup or your dispensing cup and then apply your foundation. You actually will get 2 shades. I am very fair skinned, so I have shade 2 and shade 3. Shade 3 is just a little bit darker than shade 2, so I'll use this one more than this one. On shade 1, I could actually use that in place of the concealer under my eyes. So those are the products that you receive. It literally takes me about 5 minutes. You see all of this, and it's intimidating. It was to me. When I opened the package, I thought, oh, I've paid over $100 for this. I've got all this product. Now I have a tool I have to use. What am I going to do with all of this? It's super, super easy. Once you finish putting your base on, you're just going to go in with your mascara, your eyeshadow, your liner, lip gloss stick, whatever else you want to add, and you're done. I'm done with my makeup 10 minutes in the morning, and I honestly did just a 10-minute job today, and that's all I've done for you. I wanted to make sure that I had the airbrush product on when I did the video because I'm really enjoying this product, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. So we are back. I've got my primer on, a little bit of under eye concealer, and we're actually going to do a little bit more concealing as we go along. And as I'm doing the demonstration of the Luminesse, I'm going to look at this camera, but I'm also going to be looking at the mirror a little bit too. So I'm going to be going in 2 different directions. The first thing that we're going to talk about are the products themselves that will go into the airbrush gun. I mentioned earlier that I was putting on my primer. They do come with a primer. This is called the Moist Primer. That is the airbrush moisturizer and primer that you can use. You just shake it up and drop it into your air gun. I don't use it. I use my own primer. One of the interesting things that you're going to see about using the airbrush system from Luminesse is that you put the blush on first, which is a little bit backwards for all of us who have used moisturizers and then a foundation, powdering, and then blushing. With this, you're going to use the blush first because you want to have a natural glow, that it looks like the blush is just being brought out naturally, not that you've swept or powdered that on your face. So you're going to take your airbrush gun out of your air compressor. We'll turn it on. It's pretty quiet. I don't know if you can hear it or not. And then here's your trigger. And you're not going to gun this. You're not going to go full power with this when you're putting your cosmetics on. And that's something that you'll have to get used to. And believe me, you'll learn to get used to it pretty quickly when you have a blotch on your face, and you have to rewash and start again. You'll begin to tutorialize yourself and get the hang of it pretty quickly. It probably took me a couple of tries. So you're going to go about 6 drops, maybe 4 even, with the blusher. And I can feel the air coming out now, but because I've not pulled the trigger, nothing's coming out. So I'm going to go into the mirror and do this, and we'll come back with some blush. I do right along the apples of my cheeks. I have very high cheekbones. I do a little on my forehead, on my chin and nose, and then with what's left, you can go down into your neck with it. It's fine. You just have to go pretty subtly. And that was one of the that was one of the lessons I learned on the first day. And of course, as you can see, now we've got our blusher on. Very easy to do, just a couple of seconds. And you're going to keep going with this. You're not going to stop until you're finished. So what we'll do now is go with what is called porcelain. Porcelain gives you that really pretty matte, sort of almost like a China doll kind of look. And we do this before foundation. I do about 6 drops. And you're seeing me shake those bottles. They come settled, and you have to shake them to mix your airbrush cosmetics with the liquid that's inside of the bottle. So I've got my porcelain down in my cap. Again, I can feel that air hitting my face, but I've not pulled this trigger, so nothing's coming out. And this is going to go all over. And we're finished. My next step that I do, and not everyone will do this, but because we've talked about a little bit earlier in the video, is I have what's becoming, you know, pretty big puffy bags under there. And I try to conceal them as much as I can, for camera work especially. I actually know someone that just had their eyes done, so they had all of that puffy taken out, and that's fat under there. And they'll go in and cut, they'll pull that fat out, and then they'll stitch it back up. Costs about $5 grand if anybody's interested. I don't know how interested I'll be in doing that. So we're going to go right, I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to go right over my eyelids, down around underneath those bags. And when you're concealing eye bags, you want to put your product in the shadow. You know, a lot of people will have a tendency to go into all over the bag themselves, but you just do, you conceal within the shadow. And so we're finished with that. We may have a little bit that we're going to have to do a little touch-up work later, but that's fine. And then the foundation, finally time for that. And this really goes very quick. I actually think that this is a lot quicker than pulling out your foundation, your sponges, your foundation brush, you know, moisturizing, priming, rubbing all of that into your skin. This goes faster, and the one thing you'll notice is I'm not touching my skin at all. So there's really no, not a lot of margin for getting bacteria on my face, in my eyes either. And we're going to go about 6 drops with the foundation, and we're just going to go all over with that as well. And I'm finished. What I'm doing now is I'm just gunning the brush. I'm pulling it all the way back, and I'm just drying it. A lot of times I'll do this just between steps if I feel I've gotten a little heavy-handed with one of the applications, and I'll go over it. Now at this point what you'll do is you'll take some warm water just from the faucet, from the tap, it's fine. You're going to go into your little cup with it, and you're going to gun it down the drain to clean your cap. And I will also, I'll take a Q-tip, I'll show you. I'll take a Q-tip and I'll go around the edge of the cup so you can get that makeup out of the cup. And then I'll also go into the needle and do that as well. And so you get a little bit there. You really want to keep these clean. That's the #1 thing that I hear, is that people stopped using their airbrush system because it got clogged. And they just didn't know how, or they didn't feel like cleaning, or they just didn't want to put forth the effort. But it's a great product. I like it. I hope you can tell. I'll look later when I do the editing to see if you can see how well the foundation goes on. And it's very easy. It took me, what, maybe 5 minutes to do that. All I need to do now is just powder. I use my regular ready-to-wear powder. I'm going to go in with a little eyeshadow. I'm going to use either ready-to-wear. I may use NYX. Mascara is going to be Lancome. Eyeshadow, eyeliner is also Lancome. Little gloss, little lipstick from NYX. And I'm ready to go. I'll be ready for camera in a little while. You'll actually see this is the makeup that I'll have on today in doing the review videos. So you guys have a great day. 5 stars. I highly recommend it. Very easy to use and very easy to maintain. Happy shopping and take care.